welcome back again. So we did our recap, we talked about our grading, talked about the midterms. Now we're going to move on. We have a new #1 hit. Finally, the box has finally been dethroned. The current #1 hit is The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. So for homework, I want you to analyze the song, identify the song structure, so indicate where the verses, choruses, and any other parts of the song happen by indicating like the time marker in the YouTube video. Also discuss the tone, tempo, and timbre, and so analyze the song. Also do the same thing for one other piece of music that you listened to during your break. You had a 2-week break. I'm sure you listened to lots of music. And if you didn't, you should listen to music because these are crazy weird times, and it's good to listen to crazy weird music during crazy weird times. So we're going to now go back to the 1800s where we left off, and we're going to pick up with nationalism. Now we got up to around the 1800s, and by that period, it was still largely dominated by the church. We saw our composers like Mozart and Bach and Haydn writing for the church, as well as for the kings, the nobles, and whatnot. But 2 centuries earlier, we started having composers writing for the opera, which is finally having the non-royals, the non-elitist class making music. And that continued into the 1800s when we had a lot more of a rise of what's called nationalism, pride in your country, less of a focus on the king or queen per se, as more countries switched over to more of a form of democracy that we have nowadays. So we had a lot more countries writing songs, or a lot more people writing songs for their country or for their homeland. And of course, that's the case for here in America. Got a ton of songs that are US based. We got Yankee Doodle. We got a ton of American songs over the ages. Now, I think we've gone over this. I forget. If not, oh well, we'll recap it as well. So we're going to talk about national anthems a little bit, because that's one of the most common pieces of music you'll probably hear fairly regularly. Any sports game, of course, Olympics. Now, because here in America, we love stealing from other countries' cultures, and that is very much the case with our national anthem. Some of you might know that it is written by Francis Scott Key during the War of 1812. Francis Scott Key wrote the lyrics for the Star-Spangled Banner during the Battle of Fort McHenry, located near Baltimore. Hence why we have the Francis Scott Key Bridge and the Fort McHenry Tunnel in Baltimore. But it actually dates back to a British drinking song from the late 1700s. And the gist was, if you could sing the song, you weren't drunk enough. So there's your little bit of a side history to a very popular tune. So I'm going to play the original version of the song, the anachronic song. I'm going to include this link as well, but I'll also play it real briefly. So you can hear the melody. So same melody as our version. Largely, there's some minor tweaks to accommodate for the changes in words, but that's pretty much our national anthem right there, which you've heard many, many times. Earlier this semester, we listened to the great version by Demi Lovato from the Super Bowl. I included a link of a minor version of Star-Spangled Banner, so if you're like, oh, I don't quite get what major and minor is, well, original national anthem, oh, say, can you see, is a major key. The solfege syllables are so, mi, so, do, and so on. If you would like extra credit, you can figure out the rest of the solfege syllables for the Star-Spangled Banner, but it's a lot of work, so if you don't feel like doing that, no worries. Here is a minor version of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Creepy, right? Fun. So, like I said, one of the extra credit opportunities is the solfege syllables. I'm writing this down so I don't forget it, so I want to send it to you. The solfege syllables for the national anthem, as well as the infamous Fergie version from the NBA All-Star Game. If you choose to analyze that, that is also an extra credit opportunity. So moving on, I mentioned how America likes stealing other countries' cultures, and we like amalgamating them into our own. And another great example is the British national anthem, God Save the Queen, which I'll play, and you probably think, hey, that sounds familiar. Want to play it? See if you know what it is as I play it. Did you get it yet? Now you might be thinking about the British words too much, so I'll just play a melody real quick. That indeed is My Country 'Tis of Thee, which we stole from the British national anthem, because we love doing that stuff. So it's a little bit about some national anthems. A lot of countries have national anthems. I believe all of them do. In your assignment, should you choose to do it, and if you want to get credit for it for your writing grade, is to analyze, compare and contrast two different national anthems. Can't be ours, can't be the UK's. So you can go on to Wikipedia and look up list of national anthems. I'll include that link as well. So to get full credit for the assignment, you have to compare and contrast two different national anthems. You must include the YouTube link, as well as what the country is. There we go, included that link. Also, if you want to get some extra credit as well, like let's say you don't want to do the performances, or you want to do some extra credit so you don't have to worry as much about your final grade, I'll include a lot more extra credit opportunities from here to the end of the semester. And this opportunity is, if you would like, you can analyze 4 national anthems, and that will give you double the credit for the assignment. Moving on, I'll just recap real quick all of the homework, because that's probably about the end of today's class. So we got name a brass, woodwind, string, and percussion instrument that I didn't mention earlier, so you can go back to the other videos or check the list. You must analyze Blinding Lights with the 3 T's. Also, analyze a song you listen to on your break, point out the 3 T's. And compare and contrast 2 national anthems. They can't be the US or the UK. And your extra credit opportunities include analyzing Fergie's version of the Star-Spangled Banner, the solfege syllables for the Star-Spangled Banner, and doing 2 additional analyses of different national anthems. There's a lot of really good ones around the world. I recommend don't pick 2 from the same continent. You can if you want to, but it might be neat to compare Asia and South America, or Europe and Africa, and so on. So with that, class, I will talk to you later. As I said in the previous video, we can have some one-on-one FaceTime. Make sure you email me and figure that out. I want to make sure that you still get your full college experience out of this, so you get plenty of instruction time. I also want to make sure that, given the changes we're experiencing, that it all seems doable to finish the end of the semester. I imagine that there's going to be some adjustments. So do your best, continue doing your assignments, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. With that, have a good one, class. I'll talk to you later.